What's up, Foundation? Today we're going to look at some interesting Gashats. I happen to have two Gashapon Gashats that are a little different from their DX counterparts more than you'd think. These Gashats, in their DX form, their normal form, are double Gashats. They fit into both slots. As you can see, I have Knockout Fighter from half of Paradox, and I have half of Mighty Brothers Double X. Now, each of these Gashats are from the Gashapon machine. They have counterparts. The other Mighty Brothers is an orange Gashat with teal accents. And then, of course, the Perfect Puzzle is just another half, just the other half on the dial. This one I have is actually the metallic finish Gashapon one, not just the regular one. As we see, these Gashats don't actually utilize the same kind of light system that the original Gashats used. So, for the candies, since, they're already half Gashats anyway, they just stuck stickers on there. So you got your Knockout Fighter. And you got your Mighty Brothers, the smaller version. I believe the orange would have the doubled up version. The Gashats operate just like other Gashapon Gashats, where you have limited sound effects, but the buttons are still present and still mostly work. Let's go through our trigger buttons on these.
Knockout Fighter! Come on up! We're talking in! Knockout Fighter!
So as you hear, that last of the three henshins is actually the perfect knockout Paradox when he uses the belt. I thought that was weird that they put it on the trigger, but sure, why not? Let's go through Mighty Action doubles. Another big difference that you'll notice here is the Mighty Brothers Double X has the speaker in the normal spot for the Gashats, but the Perfect Knockout actually has a completely different shell body, and the speaker is this giant area in the back as opposed to the tiny slots that most of the Gashats have. As you can see on a DX Gashat, they're in the same spot. And the body's very similar with Mighty Brothers. But then, of course, as we compare it to Perfect Knockout, there's big aesthetic differences. Like, not something that affects the toy itself, but something that I don't have the actual Paradox toy to know if that's just because of the Paradox toy or what. But you'd think that it would have similar attributes to the Mighty Brothers, because they're both double Gashats. But I suppose it is an entirely different system. Anyway, let's get these in the driver and hear what they sound like. Oh, cool, nothing. My favorite. Oh, there you go. Get a light zoom so you can see the Perfect Knockout in there. Of course, upside down, just as Perfect Knockout would be. Let's see if it Kimiwazes. No. So no Kimiwaza, just the one. Let's see what happens when you put it in the secondary slot. Same thing. So technically speaking, it does work in the belt as you would intend it to work in the belt. If you had both of them, they would just make the Paradox sound in harmony. And so essentially still works like the DX toy. Even with one of the Gashapons, you can still get away with playing around as Perfect Knockout. Now let's see for Mighty Brothers. Actually, let's see if he has a first one. I don't think it does. Yeah, didn't think so. Let's level up. Kamiwaza, maybe? No. Secondary slot. Ooh, there's a delay. And there's nothing in the secondary slot. We'll do it again, just to make sure. Nothing. So that is one of the disappointments. Now, obviously, the Gashat is supposed to go in the first slot because of how the logo is on there. It should go in the first slot, and then next to it would be the other half of the X, and it would be Mighty whatever. And so it's not meant for the second slot. It refuses to go in the second slot, which is interesting because Knockout Fighter has no problem being in the second slot. Look at that monstrosity. In canon, that's a nightmare to put into a belt. I'm pretty sure you would just get gamer syndrome and die. But luckily, these didn't exist in the show and had no purpose and shouldn't have.
Knockout Fighter.
So that's these candy toys. In case you're curious of how the dual Gashats work as the cheaper versions of the toys. Still a worthwhile thing. I got both of these for free, so certainly worth my time. But for, the 500 yen or whatever it is to knock out a Gashapon, I wouldn't mind picking this up. Alright, that's all. Bye-bye.